Good afternoon, all. Your Excellencies, the bishops, the venerables, the men and women of God, good afternoon. I bring greetings from my vicar, Venerable Yetunde Oyediran, and Bishop Godwin Odubeno, who actually facilitated me from coming here. My name is Professor Olurotimi Koka. I'm a clinical psychologist and a consultant psychiatrist. I'm here because nobody wants to see the psychiatrist. Because we don't want you to come to Yaba left, we want to teach you how to manage hard times so that none of us will develop psychological or emotional disorders. Is the lecture being projected? Can you see it all? Is the lecture projected? The IT people, please kindly project the lecture. What we stand to gain from this lecture, you will know the various causes of psychological distress and how to cope with it. You will acquire emotional intelligence and emotional resilience skill. You will develop the motivation to achieve your goals. You will develop empathy and compassion for your parishioners and others. Your interpersonal relationship skills will improve. You will learn how to adapt to sudden change. You will be able to bounce back when you face adversities. And you will be able to manage your emotions and the emotions of others around you. It will make you to develop a balanced personality. The first of all takeaway message from this hall is to know whether you are healthy. And the definition of health means that you must be healthy physically. You must be healthy mentally. You must be healthy socially, not just the absence of illness. So for you to boast, to be healthy, you can say, yes, I am fit physically. I am fit mentally. I am fit socially. But in Africa, we have added spiritual fitness. So you have to be fit physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually when you live in Africa. But unfortunately, most of us don't know what mental health is all about. So the definition of mental health is a state of well-being where you, as an individual, should be able to realize your abilities and your potentials. So you must do whatever you need to do to make you happy. Cope with the normal stresses of life, and Nigeria is full of plenty of stresses, and you must be seen to be coping. You must continue to be fruitful and productive at home and at work. And the most important aspect is your ability to contribute to your community with your time, talents, and treasures. Why are we talking about hard times? Because of the devaluation of the Naira, increase in pump price of the PMS, there has been tremendous hardship in Nigeria. And for that reason, Nigerians are developing mental disorders. Anxiety disorders, panic disorders, depression, they are astronomically on the increase. And we believe that 1 in every 4 Nigerians have developed mental disorders. 1 in every 4. So we believe that about 60 million Nigerians or more are experiencing mental health issues. And by extension, suicide is also on the increase. 800,000 people die by suicide annually. That means 1 person is dying by suicide every day. And Nigeria ranks 15th on the suicide rate. For those of us who live in Lagos, hardly will you see a month that somebody will not jump from the Third Mainland Bridge into the lagoon. So what causes hardship for all of us? Number one, social media. We are being bombarded by negative news from the social media, one. Then two, because of social media, once your supervisors have sent you some messages, you are supposed to respond. So we work 24/7. And when you are contacted, you must obey what your supervisors have sent you. Work stress, meeting deadlines. You have to run 7:30 service, 10 o'clock service, and you have to be there punctually. Job insecurity, lack of promotion. You've been a reverend for 17 years and you have not been made a canon. And those who know how to play behind the scene politics get their promotion. And why do we suffer from hardship? Because we also lack training. This is some sort of training that we're receiving here on mental health. Other causes of hardship, unrealistic expectations, goals that you cannot meet. Taking things personally, all or nothing thinking, being a perfectionist in a non-perfectionist environment. And those of us that have the type A personalities, we set unrealistic goals, we're always in a hurry. These are the people that develop ulcers, hypertension, and diabetes, and many more mental disorders. Your environment can also give you stress. Offices that are too hot or too cold, confined spaces. You have 3 or 4 or 5 people in one office, so they don't have privacy. Noise pollution, water pollution, and flood. Where I come from, when it rains in Lagos State, your bed may be flooded away from your room. And sorry, is the lecture being projected? Yes, next slide, you will see the vicarage that was flooded recently. And the man has to be in church. And the next slide will be that of making the best of a bad situation. When your room is flooded and you can't go to work, and then you call yourself together and take a bottle of beer. So we'll go to work-life imbalance. When you cannot cope with the stress of work, you have imbalance. Then one can develop what we call stress-related disorders. And dealing with stress is an important part of work balance. So next slide, you see causes of stress in Nigeria. So much stress, and you're expected to cope. If you look at the last two over there, enemy stress, because your village people are following you anywhere you go to. And then when you are stressed up, sex is the last thing in your mind because your madam will look at you and shake her head. So the next slide. Stress is the reactions we have to anything that disturbs us. So that's the equation there. Stress equal when pressures, too many pressures are greater than your coping resources. Work stress, money stress, no money stress, NEPA stress, car stress, no money. So you are under tremendous amount of stress and you're expected to cope. And you are leaders in our churches. So if the leaders are not coping, how can followers follow the leader? So next slide. Those are your dreams, your expectations. And as you are going to achieve them, prices of things are skyrocketing. And at the end of the year, you have not achieved much. So what are the consequences? Most people will develop physical illnesses. Some will develop mental illnesses. And that will translate to emotional pain, physical trauma, emotional trauma. Some people will lose their jobs, unemployment. And that translates to what? poverty. And poverty has a high correlation with mental disorders. If you are not making money, your spouse will be annoyed with you. So there'll be marital discourse, intimate partner violence. It's unfortunate. Some people will now attempt suicide, and some people may actually die by suicide. Other consequences: absenteeism. You won't come to work. But sometimes you go to work, they call it presenteeism. You just sit down and do nothing. And your boss will say, you are not working. You say, should you ask me to come? In the church, men of God experience what we call burnout. The burnout syndrome. It occurs in people that work with people. Because your parishioners will not listen to you. And when you experience burnout, there are 3 criteria. Number 1, emotional exhaustion. Number 2, being cynical towards your parishioners. You dehumanize them. You make fun of them. And the 3rd one, feelings of underachievement. I have been a priest for 20 years, and I have not achieved anything. Then, physical health disorders. We develop hypertension, diabetes, frequent malaria, and typhoid every 6 months. And of course, poor performance at home and in the church. So other consequences, you get the psychological consequences, the behavioral consequences, and the physiological. When we have stress, in this environment, we have low back ache. And it's called opayin in Yoruba. And when you have opayin, some of us will start to take opayin concussion. Like, what are the opayin concussion? What are they, please? Oshomo. What are they again? There are so many of them. So when we are stressed up, we will have what we call the fight or flight syndrome. What you can fight for, you will fight for it. What you cannot fight for, you run away from it. So as you're experiencing the stress of life, you have the alarm stage. As you are thinking about that problem that you have, some 4 chemicals, hormones, are being secreted from our brains to every part of the body. Adrenaline, cortisol, dopamine, and serotonin. These 4 hormones are being secreted to the heart, the liver, the kidneys, and they will become disordered. Stage 2, resistance. One can be productive if the stress is a productive stress. But if you don't know how to handle the stress, then you go to the exhaustion stage. You become weak physically and emotionally. And this is when we develop stress-related disorders. And please note this. When you are experiencing mental stress, emotional stress, psychological disorders, your close friends and work colleagues will be the one to tell you, you have not been happy recently. What is wrong? You see, you think you are coping, but your body language is telling the whole world that you have a problem. You have lost weight recently. What's the problem now? What's going on? And you are not as cheerful as you used to be. Cheer up. You think you are coping, but your body, your countenance, and your communication skills are telling the whole world that you have problem. So this is when you need to take action. But unfortunately, people that have mental disorders, they deny them. They will not go to the hospital to see the medical doctors. They will rather go and see their pastors and their reverends, who unfortunately don't know anything about mental disorders. So when you start to hear such things, then physical symptoms such as poor sleep, loss of weight, loss of appetite, loss of libido, frequent headaches will start to occur, racing heartbeats. And then the mental symptoms, poor concentration, poor attention, memory problems, confusion, disorientation, panic attacks, fear of uncertainties, fear of the unknown, anxiety, hostility towards church members, hostility towards your family members, loss of pleasure in pleasurable activities. And then for people to cope, they cope with maladaptive behaviors. Some people use an alcohol more, absenteeism, aimless wandering. Unfortunately, the only way we know how to solve problems in Nigeria is over-religiosity. And the solution to such problems is that they will tell you to go and pray some more and fast some more. And you that you have lost weight, you continue to lose weight. Well, that's what they are trying to do. Other behavioral changes, loss of libido, frigidity in women, erectile dysfunction in men, which will lead to irritability and hostility. And ladies and gentlemen, when there's erectile dysfunction in the house, that means the oga of the house, oga patakpata, cannot have erection. And your wife, his wife will tell him that the only thing good about you is no longer functioning. And it will lead to frequent family discord. And these days, because of women empowerment, we don't know who is beating who. So professionally, the new terminology is spouse battery. The Lagos State Violence Agency this year and last year claimed that more men came to report in the ministry that they are being battered by their wives. Woe betide you if your wife is stronger and bigger than you and is also making more money than you. You are in trouble. Because we have seen situations where the woman will sit on top of the man and say, oh, dear, I'm sorry, one sorrow. So let's quickly go to how to manage hard times. Number one, cultivate, acquire emotional intelligence. And there are 5 criteria. Be self-aware of your emotions. Know how to regulate your emotions. 3, develop empathy for everybody around you. 4, have self-motivation. And 5, develop social skills. Remember, the third arm of health is your complete social intelligence and social health. So how can we be men of God and we don't have social skills or social intelligence? So next slide, social awareness. Recognize your emotional strengths and weaknesses. Recognize them. Know the powerful emotions that you have and your weaknesses, and how your emotions affect emotions of others like family members and co-workers. It will assist you greatly in your communication and interpersonal relationship skills if you can regulate your emotion. Next slide, self-motivation. The ability to motivate yourself, motivate others working with you, motivate your family. And if you can achieve that skill, it will help you towards the realization of your own personal vision and the vision of your church, and by extension, the mission statement of the church. So your own vision will be in tandem in alignment with that of your church. And this is the most important one. Next slide. Empathy is the ability to identify with people's emotions. Imagine yourself in their shoes and walk in those shoes to know where they pinch. It will assist you to develop passion and compassion for your parishioners. And that's the beauty of being a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I must listen to you empathically. And I'll allow you to talk for 30 minutes before interjecting. So please develop empathy. Empathy as a father, your children, empathy as a mother, empathy at work towards other workers, empathy towards your parishioners. And lastly, social skills. Most importantly, your ability to initiate and sustain quality relationship with every member of your church. Every. And by extension, all other people that you meet socially. And this is how to boost your social intelligence and social wellness. It will make you to feel comfortable anywhere you find yourself. This means that you must attend every social function of your parishioners that you are invited to. And not that every function of your family members. And what are the health benefits of socialization? Enhanced mental well-being, increased quality of life, reduce blood pressure, reduce the risk of dementia, which the elderly people are having these days, boosting of immunity, increased brain health, and it promotes your life's meaning and purpose. The benefits, it will enhance your ability to adapt to stressful situations, and you will be able to bounce back to your normal self after experiencing overwhelming stress. It will assist you to cope with stress calmly and effectively. These skills can be developed by everybody with practice. And acquisition of these emotional intelligence skills will make you to be more resilient to face life skills. Internal locus of control. The African family have conditioned us to believe that if we suffer from any disappointment or frustrations, they are caused by the enemies. So please, take responsibility for all your past decisions, choices, and mistakes. Don't blame anybody. Because you have a choice to rectify that mistake. So once you blame yourself, it makes you to be solution-oriented person. And these are people that have internal locus of control. The other one is external locus of control, where you must blame others for your failures, for your disappointments, for your woes and sorrows. And this is where we blame our village people, that they have actually followed me to Lagos or anywhere. They even follow us to Canada and UK. So we go to stress management techniques. Since stress is unavoidable in Nigeria, we must develop emotional resilience and stress management skills. Only those below the ground, 6 feet, do not have stress. But as long as you are living and you are progressing, you will face tremendous amount of stress. So I have 7 different types there. Next slide. Specific stress and emotional resilience strategies. Number 1, write a letter to somebody who is stressing you. Your guy, your supervisor, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, that is stressed. Write a letter to that person. Dear sir, dear man, You know you are the most useless person in this world, and I feel like slapping you. Write 5 pages, 10 pages, sign it. Yours in hatred. Put it in an envelope and write the name of that person. But please listen to me. Go and hide that letter where nobody will see it. Go and hide it. You've been able to ventilate. You've been able to pour out all those emotions in that letter. After 4 days, go to the letter, read it. You'll be amazed about what's in the letter. Tear it and burn it. The same way, women, you can abuse people disturbing you. Put a pillow on here. Write the name of the person, Mama Nkechi or Mr. Jones. And then abuse that pillow. Abuse it. Abuse and abuse and abuse. Of course, because you cannot abuse Mama Nkechi physically. So when you see the person, you just smile at you that I've abused. Walk away from your stress. When your spouse wants to behave like a spouse, especially our spouses, when they have decided to just take your shirt and walk away. Go for a long stroll. A long stroll. Number 4, the reason the band is here, they are wonderful people, is that when you have low moods, when you are stressed up, find a fast tempo music to dance to. Not only dancing to it, sing along. I was envying a wonderful bishop here at his age, and he was just showing all kinds of skills. Well done, sir. I envy you, sir. Dance away your sorrows. When you are feeling low, that's when to dress your best every day. Dress your best to work. Because people say you are looking good today, and you are handsome today, you are charming today. Those comments will elevate your mood. Then go for physical workout. You must be fit physically, I said it, 3 or 4 times a week. And lastly, laugh away your stress. These 7 ways of managing stress, they cost you nothing. They are free if you can learn them. Next slide, that's me. I play tennis at least 3 or 4 times a week at 4 different clubs. Next slide, humor therapy. As a psychiatrist, I teach people how to laugh. Because people that have depression, they have forgotten how to laugh. Can you imagine somebody that has not laughed for 1 year? Somebody that has not smiled for 1 year. So we have group therapy. We put like 20 of them together and we say, oh, come on, let us laugh. And they'll be frowning. And laughter is the best medicine for all ailments. You can laugh away your stress. The psychological trick is that when you laugh, you are happy. And you cannot be happy and sad. At the same time, choose one. That is the essence of Christianity. The essence of the band. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want everybody in this hall to laugh from the bottom of their heart. Let's go. Those people are not, they are not laughing. No. They are, yeah, I can see you. I feel good already. My stress has disappeared. While we were laughing, there's one gentleman there who is frowning at me. See, does this man know my problem? And he's telling me to laugh. Please, if you acquire this skill, no matter the overwhelming stress, you will laugh away that problem. The problem is there. We have been conditioned to frown and cry towards this problem. But if you acquire these psychological skills, you'll be laughing and smiling towards the resolution of that problem. And you will not develop hypertension or diabetes, adrenaline, cortisol, dopamine, and serotonin. The best way of handling the stress of life is dance therapy. And that's why I said we have the band here. We don't have the time. I would have asked you to give us music, but we have done that before the beginning of the lecture. So once you have low mood again, put a fast tempo gospel music and dance. Dance. Usually, I'm a fantastic dancer. And I teach my spouse and my children how to dance. So I'm proud of that. So when I have low mood, I put on the music and I'll start dancing anywhere I am. So let's quickly go to A to Z of stress management. A, be alone by yourself for at least 30 minutes. And that is the theme of this conference. Peace, be still. I practice that for 1 hour every morning before I go out. There are some wonderful musical apps on YouTube. Wonderful for meditation. Just plug it in, put your earpiece, and you go into theta hertz, delta hertz. They condition your brain. They remove your stress. So what we're saying is that at least you must meditate for 1 hour every day. B, breakfast. Eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince or princess, and dinner like a pauper. This means that you must eat very light meals from 6 p.m. But unfortunately, it's when I get home at 8 p.m. that my wife will give me pounded yam and a bar. And it takes 8 hours for those things to digest. And it will disturb my sleep. So around 2, I'll be dreaming that some people are chasing me with machetes. Not knowing that the pounded yam, then I'll run to my pastor the following day. C, change is the only thing that's constant in life. And the only thing that is constant is change. And change is occurring every day in Nigeria. Increase in pump price, devolution of the naira, frequent policies being changed, and we're there. Increase in power. We have been moved to band A, where we are not ready for band A. Can you imagine some people who were paying 5,000 naira per month were moved to band A, and they started paying 50K. And they told NEPA people, we don't want band A, take us back to band D. Sorry, my app shut down. So, C, know how to manage change. D, delegate power and authority. All of us are here on Tuesday. Somebody must be doing our jobs for us. So you must delegate power and authority to your subordinates. E, eat fruits and vegetables. More of plant food than food from plant factories. G, if you want to, next slide, if you want to take care of your future, set goals in 8 dimensions of life. Spiritual goals, physical health goals, mental health goals, social networking goals, family goals, educational goals. Now everybody must have PhD. If you are a priest in this hall and you don't plan to have your PhD, the train will leave you behind. If you have BSc, go for your master's. If you have a master's degree, go for your PhD. Whatever degree that you have, if it's 5 years ago, that degree may be obsolete. So develop yourself professionally and educationally. Technological goals. There's what we call artificial intelligence now. It will solve all your technological problems for you. And all you need is to have an Android telephone or a laptop. Then the last, but not the least, is your financial goals. Financial independence. Because if you have great anointing without money, it will lead to annoyance. So we men of God must learn to make money from multiple streams of income. I'm here today from Lagos because I have taught myself to be a public speaker, a motivational speaker, and I've been sought after globally. And I make a lot of money from speaking, apart from being a civil servant. So goals. Ask yourself, what are my important needs in life? How my realization of my needs will take care of my family. Then set smart goals in those 8 areas of life to achieve those goals. Then we'll talk about HIJKLMNO. H, hug and have fun with your spouses. So before you go to work, call your madam. Madam, come here, let me hug you before you go. And then you hug and play with her. How many of us did that before we came for this conference? Okay, maybe 2 or 3 hands. Fine. When you go back home, call your spouse. I say, Madam, come here. I've been asked to hug you. Then hug her. And then give her a kiss. She will say, who teach you that nonsense? Now that psychiatrist. I, financial independence. J, judge your goals realistically. K, keep a positive attitude despite the stress in Nigeria. Your attitude will determine your altitude. Most importantly, L, love your people unconditionally. Love your spouse. Is it easy to have a spouse? No, it's so difficult these days. Love your spouse, love your children, love your siblings unconditionally. If you don't love them, who do you love? Your church parishioner or your club people? M, learn to meditate. N, learn to say no for whatever that might increase your stress level. You're already stressed up, and they want you to come and become the chairman of your community development. You say, no, I'm too busy to do that. P, presence or present. When you are being invited to 3 different places, they either want your presence or your present. Where you cannot go, send them your gift. They'll prefer that for you to come self. Present, live for the present moment. Live for today. Live for the now. The past is gone forever, and the future is not your headache once you have set your goals. Q, quit bad habits. R, relationship again. Nurture them. Your spouses, your siblings, your children. And cut off toxic relationships. T, acquire time management techniques. The next slide, I can't see any slide here, so where can I come down to? Here or there? Okay, let's look at the ones here. There's a picture on your screen. Can you see it? Yeah. Can you tell me what's on that screen? 3 people. Romance. What else? What else? Tell us. What's this? What can you see? Kissing, yes. Kneeling down. Having sex in a bottle, on a water. What else can we see? We have 3 more seconds. Okay. Unfortunately, nobody can see anything on this side. But let me teach you. This is an aquarium that has 8 fishes. 8 fishes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 fishes. Nobody saw fish. If you ask your 4-year-old boy to look at that, he will say, Daddy and Mommy, I can see fishes. Let me go and show them on that side. Can we see fishes now? Hey, yeah, let me show them. Okay, maybe they've seen it. Can we see fishes here, sir? Yes or no? Fish number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7. So 8 fishes in that tank. But some people see other things. Let me show them here. This is one fish. That's the tail of the fish. So you can see 9 fishes. You are seeing other things. So next picture. Okay, next picture. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yes. How old is this woman? 19. 90. A teenager. Teenager. 19. 90. 13. Okay, the picture here is a picture of a 90-year-old woman. Somebody said 90 there. If you cover the nose of the young girl, you will see an old woman looking down. That's the mouth of the woman without teeth. Nose. The eye, the wrinkles. Can we see the old woman now? Exactly. So let me go and show them on the other side. Can we see the old woman now, sir? So if you cover the nose of this young girl, you will see the eye of the old woman, the nose, the mouth without teeth. So you see an old woman looking down. Can some of us see the old woman now? Thank you. So not a young girl. So let me show them the trick here. If you cover the nose of this young girl, you see the eye of the old woman, the wrinkles, the nose, the teeth, the mouth without teeth, the long jaw. Can we see the old woman now? So, whether you are seeing a young girl or an old woman, you are right. This means that 2 people can see the same thing at the same time and still be right. Our views sometimes are not logical, they are psychological. So understand things from other people's point of view. Take vacation, don't wait till the annual vacation. Express yourself very well. Set yearly goals. Have zest for life. Next, like I said, dress your best every day. The next one is relaxation techniques, which is part of meditation. And you can start your relaxation by deep breathing techniques. And I'll teach you. Can we please sit upright? Sit upright, your hands on your laps. Sit upright. And then breathe in into your lungs deeply for 5 seconds. In. Hold your breath. Out through your mouth slowly. That's how to meditate. If you can acquire that skill, the benefits are enormous. So let's round up by showing you how to improve your mental health. Number 1, love, cherish, and adore yourself. Learn emotional resilience skills. Learn relaxation skills. Set smart goals in 8 areas of life. Sleep for 8 hours. It's difficult, but anything less than 6 is not accepted. Read 1 good book every month. Take mini vacations. Connect with people outside the church. Be ready for sudden change. Number 10, recognize your stressors and deal with them. Number 11, learn a new skill. Learn to play a musical instrument. It will tune your brain. Or learn a new language. Be physically and mentally fit. Contribute to your community with your time, talents, and treasures. Always show gratitude to human beings and to God. Avoid sugar. No more Coca-Cola from today. Avoid salt, fats, and less of alcohol. Take responsibility. Do whatever you need to do to make you to be happy. Dance and laugh away your stress. Cultivate your own garden. Don't be envious of other people's achievements. Forget and forgive all those that have hurt you in the past. Next slide is a wonderful picture that before we know it all, some of us will be in that kind of, is it chair? So, lastly, live for today. Life is not meant to be taken seriously. Your life may be limited to 2,500 weekends. 2,500 weekends. For example, if you are 40 years old today and you want to live to be 80, that's 2,400 weekends. So enjoy every day of your life. Forget the past, it's gone forever. Do not be anxious about the future. Live for the present moment. And in conclusion, the benefits of healthy work-life balance are enormous, like I said. You'll be able to control and manage your stress at work and at home. You will have more time to pursue your personal goals and hobbies. You'll have increased opportunities to participate fully in family and social life, and by extension, improve physical and mental health. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for this giving wonderful opportunity. Thank you very much, sirs. Thank you and thank you.